Hello, I'm going to be doing a tutorial today on the Spec Racer. I figured this was a pretty easy layout and something I can get to pretty quick and show you the process and the way I work using actions in Photoshop and the pen tool in Photoshop and then training paints to show it. First, I'm going to start with the action. Go right here. See a close up. So actions are basically, they're like macros. They record what you do, and when you hit play, they repeat exactly what you did. And sometimes that's great. Sometimes that's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that kind of thing. So, you just take some practice. You'll figure it out. It's easy once you get a hold of it. First thing you want to do is click on this folder, and that's going to make a set. The set would be for this car, so I'm going to call this Spec Racer. And now that I have a set, which is kind of like a folder, I'm going to make an action that goes inside of it. And the first one is going to be the RGB that handles the color. So I'll type in RGB. Now this little red circle records on. That means everything I do until I push the square is going to be recorded. So I need to be careful with what I'm doing. Sometimes I'll be doing something, start an action, like it, and then I'll start working and not remember to turn off the action. And I look and it's just got a list of all the things I've done. So you got to just be mindful of it. So when I'm setting up this action, what I want to do first is turn off before exporting TGA layer. And I do this in the action. So click that. This is hide layer, turn off before exporting TGA. And now I've got it just clean. I want to go File, Save a Copy. Oh, hang on. Let me pull out so you can see that. There we go. File, Save a Copy. And then I'm going to navigate to Spec Racer folder right here. And then change this to Targa, TGA. And I want to type in CAR underscore, and then you put in whatever your number is. It's only has to be your number. Can't work if it's somebody else's. Now this target option is going to come up. It's going to say OK. Once I hit OK, the blue and red car should turn into just a solid blue. Voila. So there we go. So now that action is recorded. What I want to do now is go back here. And I'm going to turn off before exporting TGA back on and then hit stop. And now that is a recorded action. And to verify I've made that change, I'm going to go ahead and take the base scheme and just change the color to something I know will be different. And when I hit the play button, it'll make the car reddish. And that's the RGB action. So let's do the spec one now. This one's a little tricky. Sometimes you have to have the alpha included, sometimes you don't. I try to keep this one simple and always just plan on having these layers already turned on to where I want them. Push this little guy to make a new action. We're going to type in spec. And then we're just going to go to File, Save a Copy, back to that folder. Click on this, and after the underscore, we're going to put in spec underscore. Same prompt comes up, hit OK. I'm going to hit stop. And to verify I've made a change, I'm going to go into the metallic channel and make this white. So it should make the car real nasty and shiny. Let's see. Fingers crossed this works. Sometimes I'll do it and it just won't work, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going crazy, and then I'll restart Photoshop and it works. So I don't know. But let's see what happens. There we go. So there's the shine. So this is now set up and ready to go, and I'm relieved. So now we're going to start painting it. Let me turn this back off. I'm going to get us back to our normal baseline spec. I'm going to close that and start painting. But before I start painting, I need to prep this overlay file. So I'm going to go into the wireframe. I'm going to bring this down to like 25%. See a number package. Use one. Yeah. I'm going to knock this to 25. That'll give me a good idea. This car, I think I can do whatever I want with it, but I like to have these as a guideline, especially for the numbers, which I don't see. Where are the numbers? One's not there. There it is. Okay, so there. Now we'll knock this down to 25. So that should cover it. So I know these yellow ones are the numbers. Well, easy, easy. So now that I've got that, this is everything that comes with it. I'm going to go into my libraries. And if you don't know about libraries, they're kind of like assets you can upload to your Creative Cloud and then just pull them down. The thing that sucks is if I send this PSD file to somebody else, those pieces of art are linked to my library. So they can't really edit them or do anything with them. Usually you can still be functional with it, but it just limits the shareability of it. But I'm going to take this little palette I made. I'm going to find a space on here that's kind of a dead space that I can use to be color picking. I use this to reference while I'm working. And I have it in the channel that gets, or the layer that gets turned off, so you'll never see it. While I'm in, well, no, I'll go back here. So that is, yeah, so that's everything. So when this gets turned off, we're blank. And to prevent myself from messing with this, I'm going to lock it. So it does not change now. Now that we're in here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Trevor Project logo, drag that over, and roughly scale it. Back to my layers, and it's in the paintable area, so that's good. Drag it down here. Let's find a place for it. That won't work, but that would be kind of cool. That's kind of neat. I think for a different theme, it might be good. I'm going to keep it more traditional with how the other ones I've been doing. Be too big. I think that'll work. Let's bring it up. I'm going to shrink it just a little bit. It drives me nuts when stuff's overlapping. And I know I see that in real liveries. Just if I have the ability, I'm going to change it. There we go. So we'll keep that. That kind of like looks pretty good. Maybe put a little bit of white here. Just connect the dots. But that works. So now I'm going to flip it. Go over here. I already see a couple of things that I need to do. That's going to be pretty close. Now push play. Kind of cool with that. That's kind of neat. Yeah, I dig that. And the only way you're going to see the underside is if it's flipping over, which, happens. But yeah, let's keep it like that. So I'm going to take another Trevor, and I'm going to hold down Alt. I use Alt a lot just to save me from going up and having to click things. Keyboard shortcuts are the secret to Photoshop, in my opinion, and I'm sure the opinion of many others. Looking for menus and stuff, trying to find stuff is just not fun. Now I've got that laid out. Let's see what that looks like. I think I can bring it up. I'm gonna do that right before the intakes. There we go. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna put one on the rear. The little Trevor. There we go. Okay, so let's start painting some color. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these guys and put them in their own folder called stickers. This will come in handy when I'm doing the spec map in a little bit. I'm going to make a folder called progress. I'm not. I'm going to click on it first, then type it. Okay, so now, cool, I wasn't trying to do that. I'm gonna go here to the pen tool. One of my favorite things. It basically makes kind of like having Illustrator inside of Photoshop without having to switch programs. But the big key is remembering the keyboard shortcuts. P to make a pen, and A to adjust, and then Alt, the Alt key to modify. But it has saved me so much trouble just memorizing the keyboard shortcuts. But enough of that. Let's go into this, the fun stuff. Put a line here. I love when iRacing has this in here. It really saves a step. So just love it. But I don't mind putting it there myself. I'm going to go ahead and hit this. I'm going to hit black. And I'm just going to guess about here. I want these to be linear key or linear points so they don't have a Bezier warp on them, just to keep them very angular. That's important for this part. I'm going to get real bold and go ahead and do this. Up. I'm being careful not to add too many points because I don't want to overdo it. The way I kind of do this, I'll make one, get it good, and then I'll shift it and make adjustments. And you'll see what I'm talking about soon. But the more points I have, the more I have to adjust every time. And I want to keep all the lines really clean. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Terribly bad. Okay, I can work with that. So I think I like where this is hitting here more than here. So I'm going to take these guys back to about there we go. Okay. Okay, so that's lined up. The satisfaction of that is always awesome. And you get something lined up. I'm going to bring this guy forward. Too much. Just using the arrow keys to push that point back and forth. A little bit less. And this theme may not be for you, and that's fine, but I think some of the fundamentals in this are translatable to any other livery you want to make. I just have always loved this flag, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that'd be cool on a car. And one of the first cars I did it on was the F1 2020. I did the whole thing where you go in and change the files, and that's what kind of got me into making liveries. Also, it feels like making like model cars, but without all the mess. And and being able to use my abilities, which is Photoshop and stuff. I've been around Photoshop for about 20 years, so kind of used to it. Now, that being said, I learned a lot from doing these, like the pen tool. I never used the pen tool. But like now that I've got this duplicated, I didn't even tell you, I duplicated the layer and I changed it to the brown. And I'm going to scoot these over until I think it looks right. And let's see. See how it shifted? Isn't that cool? So yeah, it's just, I love, it's like, oh, so that didn't quite equate exactly how I thought it would, but it's okay. I'm semi-professional. Go there. Oh, just this guy. One more. And this needs to come one more. Cool. That'll work. No, I think I'll be good. I've got blue, pink, and then white. Yeah, that'll be good. So now I'm going to take the brown. I'm going to hold Alt and duplicate, and can't tell any different. Now I'm going to change the color of this guy to the blue. Same thing I did with the brown. I'm going to select these leading edge and pull them back. Oh, I feel like they're good. That one's pretty good. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay. So now I need to drag this over. And those little bits I'll get once I get the main framework done. These guys inside. I just like to get the bulk of it done before I get into that. All right, and this would go, so I need this to come all the way up. I'm going to do this in anticipation of the white covering it, which it will. This is what I was talking about, why these points, having good point management is necessary, because it can get a little busy. Nobody likes chasing points around. Crazy stuff. That dip is there for that reason. Oh, I might run out of room. I think I'm going to run out of room. So I'm going to bring this one back. I've always kind of done these just by looking at it, not truly measuring it. The rainbow part, the pride section, I definitely get more clear with the width of the stripes, but these guys I kind of just play it by ear. There we go. Back. Actually go forward. There we go. All right, now I'm going to bring the blue back forward. One rule I've kind of had with this is it's okay to have more white at the end. It doesn't have to be exactly equal, just because it kind of makes the card jump out if that has a big old bright white end with all the color. Just a pretty car. Okay. See what happens. A bit more. I'm just going through and selecting points and sliding. There we go. That feels pretty even. I'm gonna drag this here so I don't have this problem. Be a shame not to utilize that though. So gonna make that adjustment. There's lines on a car I can line up with. I'm gonna do it. Oh yeah, that's good. That works. So let's put on some pink. Realize I got a rogue one there. Pink. This part I always think of Neapolitan ice cream. And love it. There we go. Bring that blue back. That's not right. There we go. Okay. Take this. There we go. Last one is the white stripe. We're going to follow the same thing we're doing here by dragging these all to the rear and start cleaning up this stuff because this is all going to be covered in white. We're filling a lot of this stuff in the back is going to be white, but I'll wait until I see a preview. There we go. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm good with that. There's the pink. Gone. Yeah, that came together great. Pull this back just a little bit more. Cool. See a little bit of this blue peeking out. So these two pieces would be a little tricky. One, not so much. I think it's this guy. That one should be that. Yes. And then let's try just to see what that looks like. Wow, it's not what I thought at all. Okay. So there's a bigger part. Go down here. That looks like a shark's tooth. Oh yeah, that's it. And we'll bring that brown up underneath it. Everything's kind of staying on layers. Another keyboard shortcut when you're hitting the arrows, if you hold shift, it'll jump 10 instead of 1. So if you want to cover a lot of ground with your points, that's one thing you can do. Bring this edge back. There we go. Select the brown. We've got points in the brown. There we go. That looks good. So that is the left side. There's some stuff here that I'm sure find and isolate. So now that I've got this side, well, let me check and see how much of this is covered in the back. Might be able to just do the whole thing. This is one of the first cars I've done, so I don't remember that much or its layout. Each one of these is kind of like its own little language. There's some familiarity between them, but there's a couple that just like the Dallara IR18. It's super cool when you get it done, but trying to figure out what everything is so tough, at least for me. Well, that didn't have any effect. That's weird. What is all that stuff? That stuff I can't see. Okay, so I'm going to back out of that. That's probably just going to get made black. So there's the rear end I was looking for. Before I do that, I'm going to pancake these. And what I mean by that, or omelet flip, pancake flip, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Basically take the whole stack of colors, go file or edit, transform, flip vertical, and then just move them up. Sometimes this lines up beautifully. This may, because the car seems pretty symmetrical. Some of the other cars are a little trickier. You'll have to go in and make little fine-tooth adjustments. But let's see how this one lays out. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. There we go. That's half of the color of the car. So I see a little seam there. And that is this guy. I'll go ahead and merge these. So I'm going to take the black, put it together, the brown, blue, and hold Control E to merge them. Now that I know the blues, oh, did it go away? It might have went away. Just by merging. Yep, it went away with merging. So that's cool. But yeah, that is the back half of the car. Let me put the tail white, and it looks like a little bit underneath it. That Trevor needs to be a different color. It's on white. Do that layer style and put it up here because I know this will need to be black. Okay, so that's done. So now, where is all this geometry I'm painting that I don't see? I don't know what these are. So, just to be safe, I'm going to section them off. Another thing I do when I'm, oh, there it is. It's in there. It's the vents. So that's fine. I just saw it. I could see it just barely change. So let's get on the vents. They should change to white. There we go. So I was right. Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's looking pretty good. If I don't say so myself. Let's finish her up. Okay, so now I've got my progress section. Well, like I said, I'll use that in a little bit for the spec layer. It makes it a lot easier. Make a pride folder, which will be for the rainbow. Just do the box rectangle thingy. That'll make points. And then I need to change this color to yellow. And look, we're going to see where that's out. I don't like that line, but I think it's going to take too much real estate. Let's go ahead and bring it here. Okay. I think I'm going to do that. This will be orange, and then this side will be red. And I do this in the way, like I'll do one side and then flip it, change the colors. Color done. Let's add some points here. So one there, one there, one there. I'm going to hold Alt to change them into linear. Don't want linear right now. It's like both of these. Hit play. Okay, gotta go more. See it? I think it's this guy right here. It is. So I'm gonna bring this one back. That line is good. Yeah, that works. That works. So let's put that intake. Just get that. I bet it's that one right there. It is. Cool. That is done. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the orange. Now that I've got a shape on top, I'm gonna do so it'll be yellow, orange, red. And on the other side, green, blue, purple. So everything's layered. So I'm revealing more than anything. We'll throw this here. I think this whole top's gonna be orange. here to choose my color. And I'm just double clicking on this guy here. Okay, so that tells me I need to bring, I want that to ride just a little bit higher on the fender. Now that I know I want this curvy, I'm going to convert it to Bezier by holding Alt. Play. There we go. That's kind of cool. So we'll deal with the bumper in a second. Let's put in red. There we go. Looking good. So now I see that I need to have that. I don't know. That looks cool. Let's just see what happens when I take orange down. So since orange is over the top, I go and add some points here. Like butter. A few more. That's good. Cool. I like that you'll be able to kind of see the full rainbow from the front of the car. Now I need to throw a yellow. Go ahead and take this guy. Just drag him down here because he's going to... Oh, cool. He's on front. In front. Oh, yeah, because I laid him that way. Durr. Almost there. There we go. That's one side. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to take these two, merge them, and then select all three, hold Alt, duplicate, and then go and flip them vertically and move them up, just like we did with the progress section. Changing these colors to their reflective colors. That's it. Pretty much it. I think a little minor adjustment to this guy. There we go. So one thing that concerns me is I have no idea what this stuff is. And how I'm going to fix that is by making it black. Because it seems to always be the trick for me. One thing I'm going to do is move this so it's not on this little piece. Try something else too, just to see if I can figure out where that stuff is. So just to find out if I can figure out where this stuff is, I'm going to change this color to something super bright, obnoxious, that I can't miss. Ah, like a Mountain Dew color. And if I see Mountain Dew spilling out, okay, I saw it there. Ooh, so it's in the cockpit. Oh, that's easy. It's going to be black anyways, so that's great. Okay, cool. So I'll change this black. That'll look awesome. Play. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's do the spec map and call her done. So now that I made these folders, I've got Pride, Progress, and the stickers. I'm going to select all three. I'm going to turn this guy on and pull them, holding Alt to duplicate between. There we go. Now they're not right, but they're there. So stickers is going to be 100% or 0% metal. So it'll just be straight black. And also the stickers and roughness will be 0% rough. The progress, I keep it at 25 metallic. No real rhyme or reason to it. I just kind of like how it looked. Had just a little bit more metallicness to it. The Pride section, I make 15. And then Progress gets black because I want 0. Sorry about that. 0 roughness. And then Pride is going to get 100% roughness. Hit this button. It'll be done. See what happens. That's it. Okay, so some of those black pieces were under here, but I kind of like that it's black. How that Trevor looks on the side. That came out pretty good.